I'm going to attempt making some pickled beets. But first, I need to harvest some beets. These beets I planted beginning of April, I think. And some of them are quite huge. I thought I had more in a different part of the garden, but they were all gone, so I don't know what happened to them. We might have picked them the other night for dinner, but look at that, nice size. This is even bigger. Ooh. Nice. I'm not going to make a very large batch, maybe just a quart. I'm going to leave some of these smaller big guys to get a little bit bigger. Those 4. Look at that guy over there. Alright, we have 10 beets, so I took the tops off, and we have almost, well, a little bit over 1.5 pounds of beets. I washed them up really good, and now I'm going to bake them in the oven at 400. I'm going to cover this pie pan with foil. I cut some of the big ones in half just so that they cook a little bit more evenly. And yeah, we'll come back in like 45 minutes and see if they're done. The beets are done and hopefully are cooling off enough that I can get the skins off. Oh yeah. Okay, so I gotta tell you a funny story. When I was little, we would grow a ton of beets, like a huge row. And I did not especially enjoy weeding all the beets and everything, but one year my grandma decided to come visit during beet harvest time, and she helped us can the beets. So we pressure cooked them first and got the skins all nice and soft. They're still really hot. And then we had to take the skins off once they had cooled, and then we sliced them up. Meanwhile, doing that gets your hands very, very pink. And I remember my grandma making a big deal about it. Well, I don't know if she made a big deal about it, but we had beet colored fingers, and so for years after that we'd always talk about the year she came and did beets with us. And every year that I grew beets, I'd send her pictures. We just have a great time laughing over our memory of cooking beets together. Well, I can't do that this year because my grandma passed a few weeks ago. And so yeah, just remembering my grandma today. So, I got a little beet. I'm gonna get these peeled up and then we'll come back for the next step. These are all peeled, so I'm gonna slice them up and put them in a quart jar. So one year I tried making these, and I don't know where I got the recipe from, but I thought you used raw beets to make pickled beets. Needless to say, they did not turn out, and they tasted awful. So this recipe I just found online. Hopefully it tastes good, because I would hate to have to waste my entire beet harvest, because I did end up harvesting all of those beets. And beets don't always grow very well. Like, it's very hit or miss whether or not I get a beet crop. I like beets. I even just like them plain. But it is kind of tricky to get them to grow. I think because there's such a fine window of like too cold and too hot for them to grow. Like, you gotta get them started before it's too hot, but then you can't start them too soon, so it'll be too cold. And I don't always have success with fall planting. It just doesn't always work for me, so we'll see if this works. I also think this is the last bunch of my beet seeds, so I'll have to get some more if I want to grow any more. These little guys, I'm just going to leave a hole. Just look at my pink fingers. For the brine, I put in a cup of water, a cup of apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of mustard seed, and that was it. I'm going to boil this, then I will pour it over my jar of beets. I'm not actually canning these, I'm just going to put them in my fridge. I love how that worked out. It was basically just the right amount of brine and just the right amount of beets for 1 quart. So I'll come back in a few days after these have had a chance to set and let you know how they are. It's time to taste test these beets. They're perfect. Just like I imagine them tasting. I did not eat a whole bunch of these growing up, but they're good.